Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for your daily Reiki micro session. This is a micro session because it's only 5 minutes long, where a regular Reiki session with me does last for an hour. So we're going to do 5 minutes of Reiki, and then we'll follow that up with 5 minutes of questions where you guys can ask whatever you might want to find out about, whatever's on your heart or on your mind. I'll use my tarot deck and my intuition, and we'll come up with a nice solid answer that'll help you move forward productively in your life with that. But for right now, we're going to start on the Reiki. And so we're going to focus on that first. And so Reiki is good for a multitude of wonderful things. And since I don't know what each of you actually could use most in your life, I'm asking the Reiki to sort that out and setting the intention that it will help you with whatever it is that would be most beneficial for you today. For those of you who have something specific you would like the Reiki to focus on, feel free to go ahead and adjust that intention. So, I think we're ready. Let's get this Reiki started. All right, so we're starting Reiki at 55 after the hour. That means we're going to end it right on the hour, at least if we don't get distracted and go over. Gabby, hello, hello. Does anybody have questions about Reiki? This is a great time to ask them if you do. Diane, hello, glad you're here. That's fantastic, Gabby. I didn't even look at it. I don't remember what it said. What happened? What card did you pick and what happened? And what did I say was going to happen? How close was it? Liz Leonard, good morning. Excuse me for the frog in my throat. I'm not sure I've seen you in the room before, Liz. Welcome, welcome. Penny Anderson, hello, hello, hello. Vicky, glad to see you in here. It's been a while, sweetie. Always glad when you're in the room. Shaquaya, hello, hello. I would say good morning. Yeah, it would still be morning on the East Coast too. Good morning, good morning. Not sure exactly where you are, but okay, well, putting your question in while we're doing Reiki is disrespectful to the Reiki energy. And I don't take questions that are put in during the Reiki time frame. So if you want to have that question queued up and waiting for you to hit enter whenever I say it's time, you're perfectly welcome to do that. But for right now, what we're focusing on is Reiki. And I understand you're trying to get it in fast, but the Reiki is powerful energy in and of itself. It is something completely different than doing a reading. And I think that it deserves respect and courtesy. So we're not going to rush through it. And we're not going to act like it's not important by moving on to the next thing before it's over. Cool, cool. Since we're here and we're talking about it, thank you for that thumbs up already. That's not what I was going to say. Since we're here and we're talking about it, does anybody have questions about Reiki? What it can do for you? Why I do it? What does the word mean? What is it? Any questions like that, or do you guys know it all? Some of you guys have been hanging out with me long enough. You might have heard my answers to all of this already. Not everybody, though. Oh, wow. Ah. So did you get the tower early enough to make the change yourself without spirit booting that change upon you? Liz Leonard. Are you a Reiki sponge? A lot of people are Reiki sponges. Once you've had Reiki a few times and you've seen the benefits, I think you kind of automatically become a Reiki sponge. Ouch. Ouch, Gabby. Of course, having a few hours or a few minutes is not a lot of heads up. That's for sure. Awesome, awesome. Well, we're glad to have you here in the room with us. Excellent. Where do you live, Liz? What part of the world are you from? If you're in the US, what state are you from? La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da. Warner Robins. Oh, wow. So you're with the Air Force somehow. Do you do a lot of distance Reiki? Because that allows you to move around a lot. I'm sure that if you started doing Reiki a while back ago, you probably have clients at other bases too. Oh, yay, a fellow comrade. I love it. Some of the people that I know that do Reiki that don't do it at a distance very often don't quite know what to think of it, that I do that professionally. It's always nice to run into somebody else who understands that it works just as well. Lived in Florida for 25 years. Well, you're not too far away from Florida. You could still drive back and visit if you're only in Georgia. All right, so let's see. It is time to wrap up the Reiki. Okay, guys, let's move on to questions. You guys start popping those questions in the chat box. I'm going to start my timer here in a second, and I'm going to answer questions for y'all for 5 minutes. If you don't happen to get your question answered during this, then there is a website listed in the description box below, and you can always order a one-question reading from me there. Or if you just want your question to be more private than on a YouTube channel, you can always use that too. It's an option. I also have 2 question readings if you have more than one question, or I do live readings, that's there. And you can also book a Reiki session there if you would like to. So I'm going to take a sip of coffee, start the timer, and we're going to look at the chat. Right? I actually started out as a psychic, and then I grew into tarot, and then I grew into Reiki. I don't know what's coming next. Well, I do. I'm starting to teach tarot classes starting next month at a local store here in Denver. We'll see what happens after that. Message from Spirit for Shakoya. Shakoya's message for today. La da da da. We should exchange phone numbers, Liz. Alrighty, Shakoya, what is your spirit message? Okay, today I feel like I put down too many cards. Let's pick those up. Today, you start with the Six of Swords. Six of Swords start. We're only in the shadow of Mercury, and my mouth doesn't want to work right. Six of Swords talks about the idea of moving away from drama to calm, peaceful waters. And see all those swords in the boat, Shakoya? To me, this is saying, yeah, you could hurl some insults at somebody. You've definitely got plenty to say, and it would all be true enough. But notice she's taken those swords with her. She's not hurling those swords. She's not adding to the drama. She's not building it up. She's not exchanging tit for tat. She's finding her peace. She's moving away from this cray-crayness and finding her peace. Okay? Moving towards, because usually we don't know what we're moving towards, the King of Pentacles here. This tells me that what you're shifting your focus onto, instead of the drama and the ups and downs and the emotionalness of what has been going on, you're shifting your focus onto doing what it takes to make the money, baby. You're shifting your focus onto financial matters, and you're taking control of your financial life. Why? Because this is your goal. Happy, secure family life. You're very family oriented is what's coming up for me on this card, but you also want to have a family that has everything it needs without having to scratch and scrape and beg and borrow and all of that good stuff. And so by you shifting your focus from this drama-inducing person or situation, focusing on taking care of business, taking care of business. This is what's going to bring you this goal that you want, which is a happy family life. Okay? All right, happy family life is much better than drama, Shakoya. There's your advice for today. Gabby wants to know, what is her grandma feeling towards her? Gabby. What is Gabby's grandma, the one that's in her mind right now, feeling towards her at the moment? Oh, let's pick up these cards I set off to the side. Get them back in the mix. Gabby. So I'm going to tell you the same thing that I tell the girls that ask about how the boys feel about them. Feelings are transitional. Can be completely outdated in 20 minutes, baby girl. So, Ms. Gabby, we do have the Four of Wands. Your family. Nothing changes that. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. I think she feels like you've told her some bad news. This is normally bad news about finances, but it doesn't have to be. This can also have to do with health. Pentacles is very tangible stuff. So finances or health, she may feel like you've given her some bad news about finances or about health. And I think she feels like if she waits long enough, that news is going to turn back around. For me, I know a lot of people view this card as waiting for your harvest to come in. I don't. I view this card as waiting for the harvest to come in. It's not quite ready yet. To me, I look at this card. I'm a farmer's daughter, okay? I look at this card. I'm seeing those pentacles on the vine. They look like fully round pentacles, I mean, they have the symbol on them. They're ready to be harvested. I don't know why anybody looks at that and says, wait. I think the guy is the farmer and he's just tired. He's like, oh, thank God these are finally here. I have put in so much work. Because if anybody has been around a farm, you know that to grow something takes a lot of energy and effort and work, even though there are a lot of days when all you have to do is wait. Okay? I think he's just tired. He's put in the energy and the effort. He's kept the bugs away. The hurricanes haven't come in. The tornadoes haven't come in. This thing, the harvest is there. Okay? He's tired. Now he has to collect it. Then his work is finally over once he collects it. So, with it in reverse, this is saying that your grandma feels like she's waiting because she feels like you're going to come around. You might have given her some bad news, but I think that she feels like you'll come around. You'll see. It's like trying to find exactly the right words for this. I think she feels like whatever this is that you told her, it's going to turn around and it's going to be just fine. But it has to do with you realizing and understanding something for that to happen. And she has full confidence that you will. Okay? So I don't know what you said to her. Don't know what you said to her, but she's not exactly thrilled. You'll always be family no matter what, but she does feel like you'll come around. She's not stressing really. And Penny, here we go again. All right, guys. So I am going to say too, super chats are always appreciated, never required. If you want to convince me to answer a question while I'm still here after the timer's gone off, if you want to throw a super chat up there, I would probably do that. But like I said, super chats are never required. If you would just want to catch me next time, you can do that, or you can order a one question reading. Ricky. So Ricky, I'm going to give you a little coaching. I'm not going to answer your question because I'm done with answering questions, but I am going to give you a little coaching because I think it'll be beneficial not only to yourself, but also to everybody else. 2 pieces of advice. First of all, visualize yourself paying everything that you need to pay by the end of the month and buying everything you need to buy at the end of the month with no worries. Take just a few minutes to do it. You don't have to take a long time. Just visualize that and allow yourself to feel what that would feel like to you, because I'm imagining that that would probably feel like relief. And then the other thing is I'm going to give you an affirmation that you can use that'll help you bring money in if you use it. Do you want an affirmation, Miss Ricky? Does anybody else want an affirmation to help bring money in? You're going for a hypnotherapist. I have been watching like Marissa Peer and a couple other kind of random things about hypnotherapy. I'm not ready to make that leap yet. I am teaching the tarot classes at For Heaven's Sake. Yep, in Denver. The first one is June 7th. If you go to For Heaven's Sake website, you can sign up for one there if you're in the local area. You're quite welcome, Shakoya. Now, her I have not heard of. Gotcha. Okay, so Ricky, here's your affirmation. I was thinking that you were, Gabby. I was thinking, though, that you had moved, so I wasn't sure how far away. That would be so cool if you would come to the tarot class and we would actually meet in person. Oh my goodness. Where are you on your tarot skills, Gabby? Do you have a deck already? Do you use it at all? Or are you just thinking about getting into tarot? Okay, so Ricky, here we go. I'm going to type it out for you. And anybody who wants to use this, feel free to copy it. I copied it. Bob Proctor shares this, and it has been working for me. When did I start using this? I started using this in 2013. And when I started using this, I had first gone professional, quit my perfectly good job. A lot of times the food I had on my table was what my boyfriend at that time bought. And I was out there on the limb, guys. And this really turned everything around for me. So let's see. All right, so here we go. You start it with an emotional statement about now. It's always about now. I am so happy and grateful now. And allow yourself to feel those emotions, comma, because money comes to me. Bob Proctor says money comes to me. I say money overtakes me in ever increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous, how do you spell US? Continuous, IOUS. Doesn't look right. Is there a spell check in chat? There is. There's no I there. Basis. There we go. That's your affirmation. You guys feel free to copy and paste, copy it down. When I first got a hold of that affirmation, I was really struggling, like I told you. And one day I had to drive 45 minutes. And for the whole drive, I just repeated this affirmation over and over and over and over and over again. It wasn't the first time I'd used it, but it was probably within the first week or two that I had started using it. And I had already seen good results from it just from saying it over and over for like 15 minutes, which is probably way more than what you have to. But if you want to kick it into overdrive, the longer you can repeat it, the more active you see it become. Bam, bam, bam. And so at that point in time, I was offering my readings and I knew that they were higher priced, but I also knew that it's worth it to have that information. And so, and actually worth much more than that. And I also knew that I was good. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I was a little bit nervous about the price because I had come from a serious lack consciousness. And so the only thing I had really uh, given so far was 30-minute readings. And those are 100, and my 1 hour readings are 200, and then I've got 45 for 150. And so the first time that I repeated this over and over and over for 45 minutes straight on this drive, I was so happy by the end of the drive. I was practically singing it and shouting it. And of course, there was nobody else in the car. So lucky for them. Um, by the time that drive was over, and I mean before, I was probably still had a good 10 minutes at least left in that drive. Somebody called me on my cell phone and they booked a 1 hour reading with me, which was amazing to me that somebody wanted to pay $200 to talk to me for an hour. I was just blown away. I was like, now, it happens a lot. So it's not as earth shattering. I know that the universe is good to me and good to those people and good to anybody else who decides to get a reading with me. But at that time, it was like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about for an hour? And so it was great. I met her at a restaurant. We had a wonderful reading. Of course, there was plenty to talk about for an hour because she came equipped with lots of things that she wanted to know about. So it was fine. And I will guarantee you, it was because of that affirmation. That affirmation helped me to get in alignment with that money coming to me. So I've given this affirmation to lots of different people and I've got lots of feedback. I've never had anybody say that affirmation didn't work for me. I've gotten some great feedback. I gave it to a couple of guys who the bank was telling them that their bank account was overdrawn by like $400 and they thought that they were like close, like by the skin of their teeth close, but they didn't think they were overdrawn. They both said this affirmation for about 45 minutes just walking around the house. The next day, they got a phone call from their bank, and their bank told them that not only were they not overdrawn by $400, but they actually had $600 in their bank account, and it was the bank's fault, and they apologized to them. So, I mean, those are kind of extreme. I won't even say those are kind of extreme results. Those are just kind of the results you get when you really put this into action and line up with it. So I encourage you to use that, Ricky, and just look how fabulous the rest of your month can be. So you've been called to use tarot. You came in for a reading, for heaven's sake, a long time ago then. I remember you then. I bet you I remember you because I don't get too many that are that young that come in that are in the situation that you were in, Miss Gabby. Okay, well, you are in the perfect place for the first class then, Gabby, because what I'm teaching is how to choose your own deck, how to take care of your deck, how to prepare your deck for use, cleansing, connecting, things that you need to know about having a tarot deck that nobody told me and I found out the hard way, and I wish somebody would have told me. All of that's what we're covering in that class. So you are at the perfect point to really benefit from that class. Lucy A, hello, hello. Welcome. Glad you're here. What kind of question, Lucy? Let's see. If you're asking me to read, reading time's over. I was just coaching Ricky a little bit on something that she asked to kind of help her. But I've done my 5 minutes of answering questions as far as reading questions. But I might answer a question about Reiki or I might answer something else. Let's see what you got. By the way, guys, if you're benefiting from this video, please give it a thumbs up. It's really not that hard to do, but it does help my channel. Also, while I'm waiting for Lucy to answer me, don't forget about my contest for May. We have some fantastic prizes. You can win a 30-minute reading with me or a Reiki session with me or 30 Reiki candles from me, or you can win my goodie bag that I've been stashing and adding to. I can't tell you what all's in here. I can just show you there's some good stuff. I'm going to say I started out with this not being anywhere close to the value of the other prices. I'm going to say we're getting pretty close to the same value as the other prices if you want the goodie bag as well. Okay, so Lucy. Awesome. Well, I'll be looking forward to having you back. We have a good gang that's able to show up here for our lives. And we always enjoy having new blood and new energy showing up too. So, like I said earlier, guys, if you have a question that you don't want to wait until the next time I'm live for an answer, you can always ask it in a one-question reading. You can see how to get that on my website. All my contact information is there, so it's not hard to get a hold of me if you have a question about how that works. You can't pay from my website the way I have it set up right now, so you do have to get a hold of me, and I would have to send you an invoice. But you can definitely find out how everything works down there. And like I said, there. What else do y'all need to know? I need to say thank you for spending some of your precious time with me today. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, thrilling, peaceful day. Don't forget about the contest. There is a video on my homepage if you haven't heard about it yet. Um, it's going really well. We're getting lots and lots of entries. So there's starting to be a lot of competition for whatever the prize is going to be out of that drawing. Winner gets to pick the prize. But yeah, it's going really well. I'm starting to get excited. We're seeing a lot of people start to participate. So that's happiness making for me. And there are, yes. And Ricky, I don't think that you've entered this contest yet. I don't remember seeing your name yet. I'm a few days behind though. I'm like 4 days behind on getting contest entries into the jar. So far, I was up late last night doing this and I finally just had to go to bed. But so far we've got that many entries. There's the goodie bag. There's that many entries. And I have, like I'm 3 days behind and I have this many entries still to fold up and throw in the jar. So we're starting to build them up. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, guys, thank you very much for being here. It's time for me to get out of here and see what else I can get into for today. Everybody have a fantastic day. Yes, on the channel homepage. So you click down where it says Amista Bennett underneath the video and it has my picture. Click on that. That'll take you to my channel homepage. The very first video that pops up will say free contest or May contest or something like that. And you'll be able to see that. It's just a short video that tells you what you have to do and what the prizes are. Okay. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for ordering private readings, private Reiki sessions. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing this video with others who can benefit from it. And thank you for participating in the contest. Everybody, I appreciate you all so much. You guys are the reason I get to do what I love to do for a living. Peace out.